Flosstube. We're the real Housewives of Cross Stitch.
I'm Priscilla.
And I'm Chelsea.
And this is Ronnie. And we're here to talk to you about our stitching this week.
First, we'd like to say thank you to our shout-outs, Homesteading on the Home Front, and now at Yellow House Crafts. It's been a while since we've seen one of your videos. We've been missing you, so thank you for the shout-out.
And the matching shirts are a thank you to
Farm Girl.
Because she told us to wear matching shirts.
See, we listened to you guys. Stitching between the lines, mentioned that pretty soon we'll be going on to log cabin quilts and different things like that, and we've already been searching for log cabin. Actually, you're shaking your head no, and you're the one who told me to Google log cabin quilts.
Yeah, for you.
Vicky wanted to know if I used DMC on bobbing for pumpkins. No, I used Weeks and Gentle Arts. Usually I'll look through a pattern and see if there's smaller areas where there won't show the variegation. I felt like on that pattern though there weren't any places where I would want to sub out for the fancy floss. So I used all fancy floss and it paid off in the end. It's beautiful. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive to do that way, but I love it. Wendy wanted to know if we've stitched anything by the Primitive Hair. I haven't yet. I've seen some of their patterns. I think it's like the Cinderella, right? They did the Cinderella.
Is that the Primitive Hair or the Primitive Needle? I always get confused between the two.
No, they have like that fancy packaging with the hair on the front of it, I think.
Okay.
But they had a Cinderella one that I was interested in for the girls. I just haven't gotten there yet. Everybody comments on our banter, and I think that's the most funny thing to read because we don't notice it. It's not something that this is how we talk every day to each other, talking over one another, yelling at each other, taking away your phone. And for all
Where
those,
is my phone?
right?
Oh.
Yeah, did you mute your phone
No.
beforehand? I used to work for a big cell phone company, so I always have my mom's phone anyways because I'm always fixing it. Actually, all of my brothers, except for Tanner, who's in San Diego, work for the same cell phone company. Brenda wanted to know what kind of batting we used in the quilts.
Cotton.
Cotton, it was called Warm and Natural. It was a thinner batting. You don't want to use polyester because you get that fraying on the top is what I heard.
And the quilts are twin size. Someone else asked that too. And we ended up buying the batting at Walmart because it was a lot cheaper.
The same stuff at Joann's was like double.
$10 more.
No, it was like double. Ladybug says, Priscilla, you're always in trouble with me. I'm getting back at her for the years that I was in trouble with her as a child.
Oh yeah,
I was a good kid.
You were locked up on a daily basis.
Instagram. Oh, I wrote like short notes today. A lot of you, when I posted the picture of the Lakeside Lodge, were like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of stitching the door vertically. It looks like an actual door. Don't give me that much credit, guys. I just stitched as I went, and that's how it ended up. It turned out awesome, and it looks like a real door, but don't give me that much credit. And then, does your hand cramp up? We've heard that a lot. We use bigger pieces of fabric. So that our hand
even when I
doesn't.
use a small one, it doesn't.
My hand does cramp up if I use a small piece of fabric. Like if I were trying to stitch just on this for, even though it's a little small, I would have. That's why you see us often with a
must
big
be
slab
broken
of fabric. Oh, you're broken in. Just a professional stitcher. I have an itchy nose today. I apologize. All right, that's all I have for questions. Priscilla, take it away.
All right, so a couple of previous finishes. This is the, what are these called? Something Celebrate the Seasons from Country Cottage Needleworks, and I don't do the bottom part, I just do the top, and then I mounted on sticky board, and the back is more sticky board with homespun, and then a couple cover buttons, and then the frame, I can't remember, I think I got it at Michael's, but it just clips on there. So I have all the 4 seasons done, and this one sits in my kitchen. On top of, I have a vintage scale in there, and it sits on top of that. One of the many vintage scales in the house. And this is Lizzie Kate's ABCs of Halloween. And this was one of the first things that I framed for myself. And the frame was too big, so then I added ribbon because I didn't want to pay the amount of money that you have to pay to get a custom frame. So I added Halloween black and orange. It's like a buffalo check ribbon on the sides. And this is like a barnwood frame from Hobby Lobby, Home Depot.
Somewhere.
All right, let's see your previous finishes.
Last week, we for the tips for newbies, we said to start out with something small. I don't think I've shown this. This was my first entrance into the stitching world. So as you can see, it is very small. My mom finished it in a thrift store frame with a ribbon and covered. But
I found her this chart, and because it's farm and chicken and cow, and then I got the DMC. She didn't use fancy floss for the first time because I was afraid she wouldn't finish it. So.
Not that I've had a record of that or anything.
But it looks so cute in a dollar frame, and I mean it's a cute decoration for her house.
Yep. And then I've probably already showed you this, but keeping with the smaller stitches, I think this was my second project. And then I did those Farm Fresh eggs from Prairie Schooler. But again, just a small finish. These were both done on Ada. I hadn't graduated yet.
But tea dyed.
But tea coffee dyed for both of them. So start out with something small that you can finish. You feel a sense of accomplishment when you're done with it. And it just kind of sets you up for success rather than starting a big project, throwing it away for a year, and wasting time and money, I guess.
Okay, so...
Hey, I found your needle you were looking for.
My big one?
Just upright in the quilt. Okay, moving on.
Okay, finishes this week.
We have some.
This is that Annie B's chart that she was so nice to send to us. And I changed the words, and I finished it on a silver tray that I found at the flea market. I added a ruffle of black and tan homespun around it, and the tray is really like tarnished and pretty disgusting looking, but I love it.
Just get up on that
I
grind.
added a pick and a bow at the top, and the bow's got two different kinds of homespun and burlap.
Did you talk about the pom-poms?
Oh, and then there's pom-pom trim around the outside too, because when I was cutting the oval for this, I didn't do such a good job, so I had to have something around the edge.
Just a little buffer. And she changed the words because she doesn't decorate for Thanksgiving. Her Christmas stuff is up by then. She has a lot of Christmas decorations, so she has to start early.
And then...
Oh, not mine. Okay, sorry.
The big one. How long have we been doing this? What is this, our 13th video?
It is.
This is that Trick or Treat row from Bent Creek. I found this old window at the flea market when we went. I added a crow to the top. Chelsea cut me these letters on her Cricut. I also have a Cricut too, but it's easier for her to use because she has the newer one that she's hooked up to her iPad, and I gotta drag my computer down the basement and cut it. But I mounted this on sticky board, and then I added some black and tan homespun, and I hung those words in the windows. And see how the windows, they wouldn't even come all the way clean. They're just so old and dirty. But
And she left the original hardware on here.
what's more perfect for Halloween than old and dirty? And this is on my blog today if you want to go check that out, and there's more pictures.
You talked about the crow up top?
Yeah.
Carl the crow?
The crow's from the Dollar Tree. A dollar crow on the top.
Layla.
It's cute though.
All right. Dun dun. Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm. Unless there's somebody else doing the videos with us. So remember Chelsea finished one of the ornaments from the Prairie Schooler, what was it, farm something or other?
Barnyard, I think, or farmyard.
And she had bought these little...
Pie tints.
Yep.
Pie tarts. Tart.
So last night we had a stitchy sleepover.
Me and the girls spent the night last night.
And we finished this. I did the sticky board, I put batting on top, and then I put stuffing on top of that, and I wrapped the stitched piece around that and glued it all down. Then I added a ruffle of the homespun in the burgundy check, the same that's up here. So it's just peeking out a little bit. Turn it to the side. And then I added some greenery, the buffalo check covered button, and the more of the... It's cute. And now I got stitch envy that I got to stitch all these before Christmas.
This will go perfect on my tree.
Mm-hmm. My trees too.
No, I have actual farmyard trees.
Okay, so then, because I finished these two things, I only have one whip.
Oh, she's bringing out her iPad.
I have to because that's where the chart is.
Never
I
done
get the
this.
just cross stitch on my iPad instead of buying the magazines. Ooh. A little Pandora stickiness there.
She has this lace thing on the table that we get stuck.
It's crocheted. It's vintage crocheted lace.
Excuse me.
But this is from Silver Creek Samplers. It was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine. I'm not sure which one. But I'm hoping to finish this week and get it all set to go decorate the house.
Do you know how you're finishing it?
No.
Oh.
But I'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, where's your whips? That's my only whip this week because I finished my other two.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of progress because we just did a video on
Tuesday.
So
So that's what, 4 days ago?
So I did finish the PC Hometown Holidays. So my chicken
And thanks for joining us. We're excited that so many of you were like hopping on board. So
I've got 3 dogs in the window and a chicken. I'm really excited about this one. I have to stitch a few more before we finish them because we know what we're gonna do with them. Lakeside Lodge. This is the one I was talking about. You guys were like, great job on the door. I would have never thought of that. Hey, me either. So
it's easier to stitch up and down. You don't have to turn it.
oh, Layla's making her Flosstube debut. This is my old girl. What'd she turn, 9 or 10?
She's not that old.
This
Ronnie's
is
way
Layla.
older.
She's our mean girl. She's a typical Chihuahua. She's yappy. She bites. She's got a big snaggle tooth. But we love her. Okay, and then, can you sit? Then I worked more on, I noticed in the last video too that I held her Christmas rules upside down and I'm just like, yeah, here we go. Like, can't even tell. So you can see how blind I am. Halloween rules. I'm working on Carve a Pumpkin. So I finished the words and then I moved on to the other pumpkin. I've got 2 more cards of these to do, which would be 4 squares and then the top of the border and then the sides.
She
with
can
the
do it.
black all
She can
around.
finish it before Halloween.
You can do it. If I have those cheerleaders, I'll be able to do it.
And we didn't finish our Christmas quilts. I finished mine, but she hasn't finished hers. That's what we were having the sleepover for, and then she got frustrated, so we quit.
My mom gave me, people wanted to know what kind of sewing machines we use. My mom used to craft, so she has her own sewing machine.
I have a Bernina.
She has
it's
a
an older
Bernina.
one.
She had given me one that she had used intermediately, which was an Elna, and that one, it was just frustrating for me. So then she had another one, a Husqvarna Viking, Victoria something downstairs, and so I'm learning how to use it. It's a little bit high tech for me.
But that one wasn't dragging the... What we're having problems with is she decided to back hers with flannel, so it's like dragging instead of... And
floating.
My machine goes better through it than that Viking did.
Yeah, and you need a special bobbin to wind the bobbin for it to fit on the bobbin winder. So I was like, what is this? Okay, anyways, those are the kind of sewing machines we use. Nothing fancy. Backtracking. I didn't get out the pattern, guys, again, but you know it from the last video. I've worked on this. This is the 4 Seasons by Lizzie Kate. There's 4 of them. This,
And
I
she's
started
got it
filling
really,
in.
really close to the top. I got like a 1/4 of an inch of room.
You're welcome. Fabric's expensive nowadays. And you never know if you can get it because everybody's buying it up. And then I had a new start. When did I start this?
I don't know, but thank goodness you went to the other corner.
2 days ago I started it. Shh, Daisy. And then this is Pineberry Lane, Sisters Farm Fresh Eggs. So I'm going to be using all the DMC except this green. I didn't have that DMC color, so I matched it up as close as I could with one of my fancy floss.
I saw somebody tell her that she needed to get that pattern, but she's showing you she already has that pattern. And she was lucky enough that someone has the...
Nursery rhymes that I'm looking
So
for.
she should get that next week, and we'll show you that next week.
Yes. And thank you for everybody who looked for me and everything. Next week, I think I'll show you some of the chickeny patterns that I already have. I have a lot that I haven't showed you guys in part of my haul because I had haul before we started doing these videos. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we boring you? Not funny today, I guess. But that is all my progress since Tuesday. We tried to work on the quilts Tuesday after the video, but we the batting. We couldn't find it. Joann's had it, but it was twice as expensive. Even if we used a coupon, it wasn't worth it to me.
Right.
So then we went to the Walmart closest to there. They didn't have it. They only had crib size. So then we had to go all the way across town to get.
Yes, by the time we got back, we didn't get too much done.
No, I had to pick up the kids from school. So yesterday I worked for a little bit on it, and then I was like, meh. I said I'd cross stitch, and then I just sat there and watched whatever shows we were watching on Bravo. Don't be tardy. What are you going to be working on? Oh,
No,
haul.
Right. We actually have stash.
It's haul. Okay. We placed an order with Down Sunshine Lane. She actually sent us our first ever needle minders. I'm excited about that. What'd you get?
I got 2 Santa patterns. And we have to say that we placed our order on Wednesday morning and we got it yesterday. So very quick shipping. Very nice.
And you got tracking updates, which is awesome.
Yes.
She got a tracking. Hey, your order's out for delivery.
These are both from With Thy Needle and Thread. The first one was in Santa Claus Land.
This is called Jingle Bells.
And I just love Santas and...
We're getting into the Christmas mode. Mm-hmm. We're tapping out of Halloween and we're getting into Christmas, guys.
I'm going to try to finish as much Halloween as I can before Halloween, but...
This one she bought for her daughter. It's called...
No, she didn't.
A Bowl Full of Marys. It's Mary 3. Look at that pretty bovine.
These were from Crazy Annie's, and she also has fast shipping because she lives in the next town over.
Oh, these are from Crazy Annie's.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is Plum Street Samplers Friends of the Heart.
And this is more of a fall. I thought it was Christmassy, but it's more fall, so it'll wait for next year. And it's huge, so it'll definitely wait for next year.
Yeah, it's 232 by 154 for stitching count. So this is big. Put that fox in the corner. Okay.
I definitely want to start this one, though.
The one you bought for me?
I thought you were buying your own.
I am.
So we could do it together.
I am. Okay, I got... Hope that was important. All right, it's it's her husband saying we're waiting for the new Flosstube. He watches it with all his work buddies. Hi, shout out. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate it. Nikki's Creations, Primitives, Country Village. I'm sorry, but the pictures... I can't even show you that because it's the glare.
I asked her, I said, have you picked out the floss to put on it to make sure that it's, like, gonna be cute? Or do you need to do your own thing?
And I have one of her other patterns, and the floss was really pretty, so I'm not worried about that. The only thing I have an issue with...
You can't show the chart.
I'm not showing the chart. I'm going to hold it up like this. The font. Isn't that such a picky thing? But the font is, like, scripty... And it's hard for me, so I'm going to blow it up on my iPad and do it that way instead of making like a working copy. I don't do working copies except for my Hawk Run Hollow because I didn't want that. That one's like a chapter book, so I didn't want it screwed up in the packaging, I guess I should say.
I told her to just take a picture with her iPad and then she can expand it.
Yeah, and it's such a stupid thing to
be
picky
about. And it's on
about.
the yellow paper, so that makes it harder to see the...
It is. It's a yellowy paper.
Things, too.
Picky, sorry. But the pattern is so cute. There's a quilt hanging there. There's a schoolhouse, a barn, chickens, a black cat. It's very cute. And then on my nursery rhymes trip from Down Sunshine Lane, I also ordered 3 Billy Goats Gruff. And then it also has the troll bridge.
All right, come on, get over here.
And then, so for next week, do you know what you're starting?
I don't know that I'm starting anything, but I want to try to finish... Oh, where is it? I have this Halloween one started. It was one of my Stitch Mania starts. And I can maybe try to get that done after I finish the Happy Halloween from Silver Creek Samplers. Or else I'm just going to totally go off the rails and do a Prairie Schooler
This is Teresa
Kogut.
Kogut. I haven't seen any of her designs before. It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a Prairie
Yeah.
Schooler
I just
double
miss
double.
doing a Prairie Schooler, so maybe I'll do that one instead. And we said before that we want to do another stitch along after Lantern Lane. So if anybody has any ideas, we'd like to do maybe
Suggestions.
a winter one starting after Christmas or a spring one starting after Christmas. So if you have any suggestions,
We'll start looking through charts. This Flosstube is exhausting. So, you know.
you took her phone away. So
Okay, so I'm going to be
can you
starting
stop panting?
Little House Needleworks Sweet Shop for our stitch along because I finished the pet shop. So the pet shop is done and the sweet shop will be started. Get her off the table. All right. And then I want to finish this one. Now, you guys can tell me, is she supposed to, like, is this a, like, certain time frame or...
People didn't have hair?
No, just like a certain art thing that I'm ruining if I add hair to her. I want her to have crazy hair.
I think she should have a couple little curls coming out.
Yeah.
Or
just-
maybe braids.
I don't know how to do braids on cross stitch.
Just a couple different colors, maybe.
Okay. Give her highlights
All
and
right.
lowlights. But that's what I plan to work on. And I might start this Billy Goat's Gruff because I just love it. I'm wondering, Farm Girl, did you do this because it has goats in it?
Mm-hmm.
She did?
Didn't she?
I don't know.
Isn't that the one she did and the dog ate it?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. She was like done with it and the dog ate a hole in it.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll find
Well, if it
out. We'll
wasn't that
go
one, it was
binge
a
watch
different one.
her videos now to find out. Okay. I think that's all.
So give us suggestions if you can think of something for our next stitch along, and please come join us in our PC Hometown Holidays, and Lantern Lane SAL and Witchy Wednesdays until Halloween, Witchy Wednesdays XS,
Some people
Santa
don't know.
Sunday XS.
Some people don't know how to use Instagram, so you post your photo, you write whatever you want to, and then in that same box you write the hashtag. So hashtag Lantern Lane Sal, hashtag PC Hometown Holidays. And that'll get you to attach it to all the groups that, or all the pictures that are in our group. And then you can also click on that once you post it, and it'll take you to everybody else's pictures. Oh, somebody's in her chair. So we've got some guest appearances. People want to know when my husband's going to make a guest appearance. You'll have to ask him that. He's wanting to change his Instagram name to like Real House Husband of the Cross Stitch Queens. I don't know. But we'll see. All right, so we've got lots of stuff to start. I'm going to be working on my Christmas quilt. Hopefully I can finish that today. And then I did buy some more.
Then we'll show you next week.
Yeah. I bought some more sheets for my vintage sheet quilt.
You're fine.
I'll probably do bigger squares for that because I want to show more of the patterns on the actual sheets. Other than that, I am tapped out.
And then come follow us at Priscilla Blaine on Instagram, at Chelsea356, Priscilla's with no apostrophe on Facebook, Priscilla's2000.blogspot.com, and keep tagging us in your finishes that
are inspired by what
Right.
we're doing here.
because we love seeing them. And anyway,
All
I
right,
hope
well,
y'all have
see-
a great rest of the weekend, and
We'll see you next week.
bye.